The Glide O2 Angler has nearly 100 5-star reviews. But are they legit? I was honestly skeptical because I struggled to find anyone saying anything negative about this stand-up paddleboard. So when Glide offered to send it to me to test, I accepted the challenge, but warned them I would be looking for stuff that I didn't like. So today I'm out here on the water testing Glide's biggest claim about this paddleboard, and that is, this summer, get on the board built for fishing without needing a $1,200 rig to do it. So to do this, I'm gonna test its transportability, its stability, its capacity, kayak readiness, customizability, and durability to see if those claims actually hold up. First up, how easy is it to transport and inflate? It's pretty easy to transport because it's lightweight and folds up into the bag nicely. That bag with everything in it fits into the back seat of my truck and still leaves room for one other passenger back there. So once I got it out of my truck, tossed the bag on the ground, pulled out everything, I started inflating it. And it took me no more than 15 minutes to unpack it, unroll it, and inflate it. And that includes the board and the seat. Now, one thing when you're inflating the board, you want it as stiff as possible. But if you're out of shape like me, it's a lot of work. So I recommend getting an electric pump for the majority of it and then topping it off with a hand pump. That way you get a really nice, sturdy board without giving yourself a heart attack. And the other thing, you don't want to do that with the seat cushion. I've aired this thing up to the max that it's supposed to take, and it's just hard and hurts my butt. Now maybe I just have a bony butt and need to add a few pounds to it, but I found that letting a little bit of air out of it and giving it a little cushion goes a long ways to just how comfortable it will be. The next claim I tested was a customizable layout. Now, yes, it kind of has a customizable layout, but I come from kayak fishing with tracks, and I consider that much more customizable than this. There are 2 rod holder ports, or you don't have to put rod holders there. You could put whatever Railblazer product you could do there. You could do a phone mount, you could do a rod holder, you could do a fish finder essentially. And there are 2 in the back as well, plus the 2 bungee areas to bring a dry bag, to bring water like I did in my case, and your fishing gear. And it does come with several accessories, like it does come with the paddle. Not a huge fan of the paddle. I'll get to that in a little bit. It also comes with a leash. That way if you fall off, it doesn't go floating away and you have to try and chase it down. You can just pull it right back to you. It comes with the pump, and it comes with the removable seat that's really easy to clip on and off. So yes, it is customizable, but not to the extent that I think the claim is trying to make. The next claim is unmatched stability. I gotta say, I was a little nervous about this because I was afraid to just dump all my gear in. So I went out on the water first and just tested the stability, just me, no camera gear on me, no fishing gear on it, just to see how stable it was. I could stand up and paddle it just fine, no worries. However, I was not comfortable enough to actually stand up and fish. Number one, it's kind of awkward to get from this position to stand up and fish. And at one point, my paddle slid off and I felt like I was gonna lean in and slide off the whole thing and dump myself and my gear, just reaching over trying to grab the paddle that was right next to paddleboard. So unmatched stability, I think that is a bit of a stretch, but it is stable. And the next claim is the 500-pound capacity. Now, I don't weigh anywhere near 500 pounds. As you can see, I'm a pretty small guy, and me plus my gear does not weigh 500 pounds, so I didn't fully test this, but I can say with everything that I had on today, I wasn't worried about it sinking at all. It held up perfectly fine. I could have even aired it up more and really given it more buoyancy. So if you're a larger person worried about the 500-pound capacity, I think they're spot on with this one. I'm not too worried about it. I would be comfortable with throwing a cooler on here with ice and some drinks and a few snacks with no concerns of this sinking. The next claim is Kayak Ready. Now, I think this is a bit of a stretch, just straight on for the reasons. Yes, you're sitting down and it comes with a seat. So it's a kayak seat, yes, essentially. But there's 2 big things that I find very frustrating about paddleboard fishing in general. And number 1, that's no sides to keep your gear and your stuff from sliding off. As I mentioned, my paddle slid off as I was messing with one of my rods. And that led me to be kind of nervous about me sliding off or one of my rods and my gear sliding off. So I had to be extra cautious about this. And it's just one more thing I've got to worry about while I'm trying to relax and enjoy my fishing trip. The other thing was paddling. I don't like having to switch my paddle every time because you have to use 2 hands. So you've got to set your rod down and then paddle. I tried doing one hand and it just doesn't have enough control to really put the paddleboard where it needs to go to make great casts consistently. Occasionally I would get a good cast, and I caught a fish today. I had a couple of bites, but I felt like I was fighting the wind and paddling more than I was actually fishing today. Now, as I said, that's more of a knock against paddleboards in general than this specific one. And the last claim that I tested a little bit today was adventure proof. How durable is it? Glide says they use thermofused rails, premium materials, and rock solid seams. And today it's held up. I've taken it on a couple other adventures, once into my pond, once into a creek, rocks. I've ran it across rocks. I've run it across sticks. I've had hooks on it, not worried about it popping it. So as far as the materials used, I do think they do a good job of that. Now, all inflatable kayaks and paddleboards warn against keeping it in hot vehicles for extended periods, so I wouldn't recommend that. But so far, after about 6 months worth of using it, it's held up. So to recap, the pros and cons. The pros, I do think it's reasonably priced for what you get. The quality, the durability, everything, it's absolutely reasonably priced. I've used more expensive paddleboards that offer the same features, so the price is spot on. It is designed for fishing. It has some fishing features that are nice and that make it better than just going and buying a regular paddleboard and trying to customize it to fishing. It's also reasonably comfortable. The seat's not terribly uncomfortable. Like I said, my butt does get a little uncomfortable. I wiggle around, I let some air out, and I'm good to go. Or I stand up, stretch my legs, I'm good to go. And it is pretty sturdy. Like I said, I did stand up from it. I was still a little skeptical to fish from it, yes, but I can stand up, paddle, and I didn't feel like I was just gonna fall in at any second. It's also super lightweight and easy to transport. So if you're worried about hauling around a big heavy kayak or a larger paddleboard, the Glide O2 Angler will put those concerns to rest. But it still has some cons. Number one, you or your gear can and will slide off. It's bound to happen. Strap it down and connect yourself to the paddleboard. My biggest frustration was battling the wind today, and it wasn't super windy. It was just enough to push me off course, or I have a really good cast, and it made fishing more frustrating than I think it needs to be. And the fishing features are minimal. Like I said, 2 rod holders in the front, 2 in the back. I guess you could consider that a fishing feature as well, but there is also only so much you can do to a paddleboard to make it a fishing paddleboard. Now, despite the cons, I do think the Glide O2 Angler does just about everything it claims to do, and at a fraction of the cost of high-end SUPs and fishing kayaks. So if you're interested, feel free to check out the link in the description below. But if you're still not sold, I've actually tested out a high-end fishing paddleboard that you can check out right here, and I can't wait to see you there.